Our focus this morning is on the railway budget that will be presented by Railways Minister Suresh Prabhu in Parliament in a short while from now. We have a panel of guests in our studios this morning. Mr. N.P. Srivastava, former Financial Commissioner, Railways. Also with us, Mr. Shanti Narayanan, former member, Traffic Railway Board, along with Mr. J.P. Batra, former chairman, Railway Board. I want to come to you first, Mr. Shanti Narayanan. Lots of expectations that people have from Suresh Prabhu's railway budget today. What do you think that the government's priority should be?
The expectations are basically in regard to passenger services particularly, and the issue basically is that we get all these expectations every year. The reason why we are not able to meet those expectations is acute shortage of resources, and these resources have to come not only from the internal generation of resource of the railways, but also from government budgetary support. That has not yet been coming, and I think the real problem for the Indian Railways to improve upon their performance has to be how we can generate resources which are required to at the rate of 3 times the level of investments that we are doing today. So 3 times increase in investments is what is required, and these are required for meeting the expectations of the people, which is not happening. That's our expectation, that Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who is a chartered accountant who understands the financial position of the railways, will be able to tackle this Gordian knot.
All right, Mr. Shanti Narayanan making a very important point that Suresh Prabhu is a chartered accountant and should be able to look after the concerns of the railways in probably a better manner. He's probably better suited for this job than his predecessors. Mr. N.P. Srivastava, I want to ask you about politics as far as the railways is concerned. You've spoken, when we were talking about how the railway budget has been politicized and has become a victim of Bihar and West Bengal politics. This time, for a change, people are expecting real development in the sector.
Well, I am very hopeful that this time the budget is going to be different than the budgets which have been presented in the past, and it will no longer be a Bihar and Bengal budget. I also expect that Mr. Prabhu will not only rise above being a chartered accountant and above being a politician, and he would be a visionary to make this budget not only a budget for the next financial year, but also a budget for the next 5-10 years. I would expect certain actions, some immediate actions. Immediate actions could be that he must increase the passenger fares so that the dichotomy between the passenger and the freight reduces. He rationalizes the freight fare. He also, I hope, doesn't announce new passenger trains, which has been the tradition of all the ministers. I also hope that he does not announce new projects which are completely unremunerative and are only considered on political lines. I also expect certain short-term measures which should take place. He must increase the speeds of the goods and passenger trains, speed up the dedicated freight corridor work, which is going to be giving the maximum benefits to the railways. He also must remove the bottlenecks which have affected non-materialization of funds under PPP. More importantly, now that the FDI in the railways have been allowed, I hope he makes certain contracts on the basis of which the foreign direct investment can be encouraged. For that, I think they will also need to probably bring up the accounting standards to the global standards so that the FDIs can transparently look and do their due diligence. They also need to make the projects more attractive. This is the short-term thing which I would expect the minister to take action. Of course, the bullet trains and other things would certainly be their part of the railway budget.
All right, so very important suggestions coming here. Hope Suresh Prabhu had good enough advisors to advise him on on what things to focus on in his railway budget. Of course, the budget has now been packed and drafted, printed. It's probably packed in his suitcase, and Suresh Prabhu is probably on his way to the Railway Bhavan before he heads to Parliament. Let's also get a word from Mr. JP Batra, former chairman of the Railway Board. He's with us in our studios. Mr. Batra, we've been getting reactions from passengers across the board talking about lack of amenities, saying that instead of focusing on upgrade, the government should focus on improving existing amenities and facilities on the ground. But you're saying that passenger worries and passenger trains only account for 30% of the revenue. The government should ideally focus on freight.
I believe the government will have to keep a balance between passenger and freight. But the ultimate test is, what is the financial health of railways? Railways is not in good health. It has not been in good health for the past few years. There is an urgent need to bring the railways' financial health on rails. Railways performance is measured in terms of operating ratio, which is understood by a large number of people, and we are today around at 94% or 92%. There is an urgent need to bring it down to between 80 and 85%, which means improving productivity, improving earnings, reducing expenditure, and doing everything required to generate resources. Often in India, we compare ourselves with developed countries and sometimes with China. In China, when there was need for investment, Chinese levied 30% surcharge on fare and freight to raise additional resources. We are yet to see this kind of an approach in India. There is an urgent need to build up resources for carrying out various ambitious projects that we have on hand. Number one. Number two, we have earlier seen that in 2001, when non-lapsable railway safety fund was created, it brought about significant major changes in the safety scenario. From a level of almost 475 accidents per year, we came down to a level of about 125, 75% improvement. There is a need for another safety thrust in a pointed manner, the way it was done in 2001.
Right.
And for that, maybe there is a need to raise safety surcharge. Besides that, there is a need to expand the freight corridor, which will help us segregate passenger and freight movement, which will ensure a long-term investment and improvement in financial health of the railways. In the next 15 years or so, the traffic both on road and railway is going to increase by almost 5 to 6 times. That's the Planning Commission study.
Right.
And neither the roads nor the railways are capable of carrying that kind of traffic unless heavy investments are made into the railway sector. So these are the basic priorities which I think Railway Minister will address this time. Besides high-speed corridor, which is in the coming, I hope it will get announced, and various other passenger amenity issues like catering, cleanliness, punctuality, security, etc. I am sure they will form part of it. In any case, a Railway Minister's speech, 80% of it concentrates only on passenger and passenger amenity, other related issues.
All right, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us and sharing your views with us. We have Mr. N.P. Srivastav, Mr. Shanti Narayanan, Mr. J.P. Batra in our studios. These are men who've actually worked with the railways for several years and know exactly what needs to be done. Key suggestions coming in from our guests. Thanks so much to all of you.